Right, you guys, what is going on? And welcome back to another video. Yes, it's me. Would you believe? Nice and clean, I feel good, nice and fresh. And to be honest, the weather is extremely fresh right now. It's about 5 degrees, or it feels like 5. It's actually 11. And the date, my friends, with the final check-in of the transformation, is Monday, the 25th of May. And it's 4:24 PM. The other time is Alice Springs time, which is 1:54 PM. So here we are, 6 weeks of dieting. 6 weeks of pretty hard dieting, to be fair. I haven't been easy on myself, but in saying that, I've focused solely on diet. As far as training, as far as cardio, as far as really using physical activity as a major tool in this, I didn't. Because for the first 4 weeks, we were in lockdown. I couldn't even leave the house. And that's pretty much why I started this series. So first and foremost, I want to say thank you so much for your support throughout it, for your viewership, for your motivation when I needed it. Anyone that did tag along for the 6 weeks, or 4 weeks, or even 2 weeks, even just a day, let me know in the comment section below. And if you want to start now, please do, because I'm actually continuing. I'm still not where I want to be, but I'm not going to continue these videos. So that's going to ease up a little bit of pressure on me. It's going to allow me a bit more time to focus on other video projects that I've got on at the moment. Just know that, you know, I've definitely got the bug. I like the way things are shaping up, finally. I'd say for the first 3 weeks, you know, there wasn't a huge amount of change. And that's just because my body was stale. It had been in a stale state for 2 years. And you can't expect things to move. You know, your body's like clay. You know, rest in peace, the late great Greg Plitt. I just discovered him before he died. And I believe that happened for a reason, because he really affected me. He changed my attitude. You know, there's many lines that Greg Plitt says in his, you know, very famous Simply Shredded vlog series that was brought to YouTube in like 2014. But one thing he says is that the body is like a piece of clay. And when you know, he was referring to when he was a personal trainer and people were coming on board with him as a client, having not done anything for 20 years. And then they weren't seeing any results in the first 2 weeks and they were complaining about it. And Greg Plitt would say, look mate, you expect a body that's been stagnant for 20 years, it's seized up. It is literally seized up, it is stale, it is a hard as fuck piece of clay. For that body to even begin to be able to change, it's going to take time, it's going to take warming up, just like you have to warm up the clay. And I can really relate to that analogy. I think that's true. And so when I was listening to him, I was right in the middle of my, you know, obsession with bodybuilding. Now, after being out of the gym for 2 years, I can feel certain things that he was saying. I can feel like a client of his coming on board after 2 years, expecting things to change like they used to, but just not. So yeah, first 3 weeks, nothing happened. Then things started to change, and here we are after 6 weeks, and my waist is coming in. I never took any measurements, and I never weighed myself. And that's something I decided to do on purpose so I wouldn't focus on it. But I tell you what, it would be really interesting to see where I'm at. Anyway, overall, how am I feeling? My energy levels are okay, but that's because my physical output, my activity output, is low. I'm not burning a huge amount of calories. I could be burning upwards of 4,000 plus if I was including a hard workout plus a cardio session per day. I'm probably sitting at around about 3,000 calories per day, but we'll get into that. What I have focused on is my diet. I touched on the actual foods that I used for the first time in the last week's video. This week, I'm just going to talk about my general overview of how things are going. I mean, it's been another week, right? I eat every single day. It's not like I'm starving. But I do have certain fundamental things that I apply to my day that have allowed me to continue losing weight. The first is no calories until 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And that's pretty consistent, pretty strict. I say strict, but it's not hard. I'm basically doing a 16 and 8 intermittent fasting, you know, window. 8 hours eating from 3 o'clock in the afternoon to 11 PM. And I'll probably have 3 meals within that time. And then I'll get up the next morning, fresh. I'll have caffeine. You know, I might be addicted, but it is what it is. I use that to my advantage. I feel clear. I don't have to sit down and eat. I can just crack into whatever job or whatever thing I have to do first thing in the morning. And usually there is something I have to do first thing in the morning. That's my most creative time. It's my most energetic time. and I use it wisely every single day. You'll never find me from the hours of 8 till 12 wasting it. I'm always constantly doing something. Might not be hard, strenuous work, but it definitely requires the brain. Anything that requires the brain. It might be, you know, something as simple as replying to messages, but it still requires thought, it still requires, you know, energy. And to be honest, with this diet, the way that I've been going, my energy has been dropping. So I guess that's where I was going with that point. My energy is dropping, my mood is high because I'm seeing results. And that's the thing. And that's the funny thing with bodybuilding, is that they always say, you know, the worse you feel, the better you look, which is really backwards. You know, bodybuilding isn't healthy at the end of the day, but they only peak at that leanness, at that level of leanness, for a couple of days at most, which is in turn disappointing because you can't maintain that level of conditioning that you've, you know, worked so hard for. But then to be a good bodybuilder, to be an effective bodybuilder, you actually have to be comfortable with being, you know, a bit fat, a bit fluffy at times, because those are the times that you're going to be actually packing on muscle. If you're always trying to be lean, like I did for years and years, you're never going to grow, because you never give your body enough time to change, you know what I mean? So I'm in a cutting phase. If I continue this for another 6 weeks, I'd be doing it for 12 weeks. That's going to put my body, you know, in a real fat loss state. And what's going to happen is I'm going to have to turn that around slowly, because if I do it too quickly and I start eating too much, my body is not going to be used to it. And all I'm going to do is pack on fat with no muscle. There is such thing as a rebound, but you've got to do it right. So I'm looking forward to that. But like I was saying at the start of this video, I am going to continue dieting. It's not over. I've probably got about another 4 weeks in me. So combining with continuing dieting, I am going to start a new video series, and it's going to cover sprint training. So a year ago, right, when I moved to Cairns, there was a track, and I started training at the track. Anyone who followed me for the last couple of years will know that. I was so excited, I sent a message to my mate from the US, Al, who is a high school athletics coach. He sent me through a full 4-week sprint workout schedule. I've gone and found that in my recycle bin. I never used it back then, but I am ready to use it now. So that's going to be exciting. I'm going to continue making weekly update videos on that topic. So anyone that's interested in speed training, anyone that's interested in getting faster, anyone that wants to see me possibly try and, you know, recover some of that speed that I had back in the day, this should be exciting, and follow along. Now, this is the final video of this series, so I'm going to give you some stats. Unfortunately, my Fitbit broke on Friday. Don't ask me why. It is under warranty and it costs $250, and I've got the receipt. So I'm going to send it back to my mum, who's in Australia, and hopefully she can return it for me and I'll get another one. But I mean, fancy that. 2 days before the end of this transformation, my Fitbit fucks up. If that was in the first week, that would have really thrown me off. And I may not have continued this transformation. I've really got to try and find a positive in every negative. So anyways, so we've got statistics for the first 5 days. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. If we're talking steps, 5,630 for Monday, 9,073 for Tuesday, 1,568, 11,211, and 8,389. For an average step count across the first 5 days of the week of approximately 7,200 per day. My highest count was Thursday, which was 11,211, and my lowest step count, which was on Wednesday, was 1,568, although I didn't wear my Fitbit for the first half of that day, so it's probably not accurate. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we've got 2,771, 3,352, 2,295, 3,551, and 2,826, for an average daily calories burnt amount of 2,954. My highest day was Thursday, which was also the day that I had my highest step count, and I burnt 3,551 calories on that day. My lowest day was Wednesday, the day before, which was the day that I didn't wear my Fitbit for half the day, and my calorie count for that day was 2,295. Are you still following? Sleep. My sleep tracker was only on for 4 nights, so it gets worse, unfortunately. So we've got Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. Monday night was 7 hours 37, Tuesday was 6 hours 14, Thursday was 6 hours 54, Friday was 7 hours 38. My average hours over the 4 days was just over 7 hours. My best night of sleep was Friday, and that's basically because I didn't wake up during the night. Like I said, I've been waking up during the night due to probably not having enough food in my belly at times. Although the way that I do my intermittent fasting, another major reason why I do that is because I don't go to bed hungry, and so it doesn't affect my sleep. And to be honest, I was probably complaining a bit too much in the previous video. It doesn't really affect my sleep that much. So my sleep's been alright, about 7 hours a night. Exercise, I haven't done any specific exercise. All I've done is, walks or playing some sport down at the field with my sister. So with that being said, my biggest day of exercise was 51 minutes down at the field playing rugby with my sister, or playing passes with my sister. 543 calories in 51 minutes. And you don't even know you're doing it. Like, that's the most effective cardio, and that's my favorite kind of cardio, is not walking on a treadmill, something mundane like that. You've got to go down and take your favorite sports equipment to your favorite sports field and have a run around and see how many calories you burn. You'd be surprised. And if you don't like sport, then yeah, sorry. If you don't like sport, then I don't think we can be friends, to be honest. And the second day of exercise of significance was a 45-minute session down at the field on Friday, doing the same thing by myself, and in 45 minutes I burnt 417 calories. So that was a nice little help. And every calorie burnt is a help. When you're in a calorie deficit, every single calorie that you either don't eat or you burn is going to help you in your transformation. It's when you get down to the nitty gritty and you are lean already and you want to get even leaner, that's the way that you've got to approach it. And that's the way that I have approached it. So the last thing you're going to see is the progress pictures. And, well, once again, I want to welcome all of my viewers who've skipped through the entire fucking video just to see these fucking pictures. Guys, I actually dropped some decent knowledge bombs here and there throughout these videos, But here we are, this is the final video, and after this I will be creating a transformation video showing the before and after with some music in the background, and hopefully we'll get a few thousand views. And maybe, just maybe, when I finally become a personal trainer myself, like I've been talking about for years and years on this channel, these transformations will serve as a bit of an advertisement, I'm not going to lie. A bit of a representation of, the way that I do things, or the detail that you can expect if you're a client of mine. When Major Key Physiques was first created, this is Major Key Physiques right here. This is one of the first hoodies ever created. This is 2 years old now. When MKP was created, it wasn't actually meant to be a clothing brand. It was actually meant to be a personal training brand. And if you go back in my video library and find the MKP 12-week fat loss transformation video series, which is very similar to this, except it was 12 weeks and it was back in February through May of 2018. Just after my daughter was born, I felt like shit. I was like, fuck this, I need to get into shape. And that's what I did. And that's exactly what I did this time. And that's exactly what anyone can do if you make a plan and stick to it. So with that being said, guys, it's been a pleasure. I'm not going to take any more of your time up. It's probably been about a 20-minute video. And for those who've watched the whole thing, for those who've been here throughout the whole thing, I want to say thank you so much. I wish you all well. Coronavirus lockdown is now complete. In New Zealand anyway, almost. And so tomorrow I will be joining a gym and I will be training with weights again, proper weights, which is going to be fun. But like I said, I will be combining that with sprint training. So we're going to try and get some fast twitch muscle fibers going again, and it's going to be fun. Day number 1, guys, is it's about a 30-minute warm-up every single day. But day number 1 is go and find a hill and run 10 25-meter sprints up it. So that should be fun. I'll see you then, guys. Have a great day, and peace out.